My ink-marred soul broke down. Who doesn't have a flat tire? As I poured my blood onto an expecting canvas, I froze. I watched the shapeless blots of blood. Words had been cut out from my soul. I searched for a crescent in the sky, on a page, on my face, but crescents faded away like love letters written on the shores of a beach. I searched for a face, but even mirrors showed me a blank page. Words strangle in my throat, I can't breathe. But who needs to breathe when you have words? My ink dried out, desert dry, like my tongue, heart and soul. When your head decides to be a confused traffic signal, there are no doubts about collisions and possible death. It's not easy when your skin melts into the armor that you wore and is now a part of you. So walking into a lightning storm is exactly the sort of thing your traffic lights would suggest. They say she has beautiful eyes, enchanting, enthralling, enticing. Look into them, my head whispered. But even Medusa is trying to stop me from looking into her eyes. But all I want is to be turned to stone, to not feel so much. Just turned to stone already. From feeling like a rock that you'd kick around, unnoticed, unloved, uncared, insignificant. Nothing within or out. The days I wish at least pain would trouble me, for emptiness is frightening. To the hell that grips me by the heart and slowly, very slowly, peels away each cardiac layer. And slowly, very slowly kisses the butterflies in my tummy into fire-breathing dragons that burn me into ash. And I am taught to believe I am no phoenix. When you live in a world where your nightmares have left your shadow and cast one above you, when you live in a world where your demons surround your loved ones and threaten to hurt them if you go on, when you live in a world where you do anything, just about anything, to know there's a pain greater than the one that burns within. When I live in a world like that, don't blame me if my skin has to be stitched together. They are just as real as you are. I'm sorry, am I going off on tangents? But that's just easier than being stuck in the same circle of mania and depression and nothingness, and mania and depression and nothingness, and mania and depression and nothingness. It's just easier to ride off to an imaginary sunset on a misled tangent. My head is like a broken TV, changing channels uncontrolled, jumping from one thought to another, never completing one, too afraid to complete one. Shadows in the dark, shadows in the light, voices in my head, voices in my ears, movements inside, movements outside. I touch, feel, hear and see. They touch, feel, hear and see. Either they're real or I'm not. My waking nightmares let themselves in through the fissures on my skull. Use no back doors, just paraded in with needles and blood and faceless facades, anonymity that I feared. Alice snuck into my cranial cave, and somewhere along the neural path, she found her eat-me cake. Lust she did, and eat she did, every last crumb. And grow she did, up and up and up, bigger than my skull, but still held within the bony walls. And I sit back, paralyzed in exploding pain, Alice in my Wonderland. They finally walked out. My nightmares, my demons, my thoughts and pain. But then they began to haunt me from outside through reality. He's still behind me, isn't he?